Hi guys, today we're going to start a new series and I'm quite excited for this one. We're going to start programming in Python from introduction to as far as we can go. So today we're going to do the introduction to Python, and for this we're going to be using Anaconda Navigator. I'll post the link to Anaconda Navigator down in the description, specifically JupyterLab, which I will also post a link for the Linux users. Yeah, and here we go. So I'm just going to start the Jupyter notebook, which starts via the terminal, but then starts the browser because it's a web application. So we're going to go to documents and we're going to open a folder. Nope, not going to open a folder. Wait. We're going to start Python 3. Sorry about that. So we're going to open an untitled. We're going to title it and give it Intro to Python. Yeah. So here we're going to do just a bit of small time coding for the like hello world for Python. Okay, so first I'm going to explain what Python is and why it's used. A bit of history. Python was named for the British comedy troupe Monty Python, and it is a coding language used for web design and app design and lots of other stuff like data science. Even hacking and malware development is also done in Python. So we're going to start making just a few advances with numbers. Whatever we're about to write is called Hello Python. We're going to do just type with me. Then for you to run this small code that we've just written here, you're going to press Shift and Enter, which will give you the spam amount happening to be 0. And then now we're going to try out something a bit heavier. This is numbers in Python. Remember to write everything as you see it here, because Python happens to be a very sensitive happens to be a very sensitive coding language, and if you do even one error, nothing will work. I will show you. You see, it has given us an invalid error. Therefore, we can go back here and write as it should be and then see what will happen. Therefore, now it has come as the right thing. We're going to do an if. An if is a conditional clause, and it normally goes with a statement under it. So you can still run that. Now you can see it will give me, if spam amount is 0, print, and it will print whatever I have given it to print. The print is normally a statement to tell it what to do. So now we're just going to do the print. So there's a lot to unpack here, but this silly program demonstrates many important aspects of what Python code looks like and how it works. Now let's review the code from top to bottom. From the top, we wrote spam amount is equals to 0. Now a variable assignment is, here we create a variable called spam amount. This here is a variable, and we assign it a value. This is the value, the number 0 is the value here, which is, it is called an assigned operator. If you have programmed in certain other languages like Java or C or C++, you might be noticing some things Python doesn't require us to do here. Like, we don't need to declare the spam amount before assigning to it. We don't need to tell Python what value of spam amount is going to refer. In fact, we can even go on to reassign spam amount to refer to a different sort of thing, like a string or a boolean. Now we did a print spam amount, which gave us a 0. Print is a function call. It's a Python function that displays the value passed to it on the screen. Yeah, or like on the screen basically. We call functions by putting parentheses, which is like a bracket, after their name, and putting the inputs or arguments to the function in those parentheses, so inside the bracket. So spam amount is equals to spam plus 4. The first line above, the first line, which is spam amount is equals to spam plus 4. The first line is, well, there is a comment, but we haven't written a comment. But whatever it is doing is ordering spam and we can see an example of reassignment, which is reassigning the spam amount here plus 4 other values, which is like us reassigning the 0 here, which is a number, plus 4. If spam amount is greater than 0, print I don't want any spam. Now, for now I won't talk about conditions until in later videos, but even if you've ever coded before, how do I put this? You definitely can guess what this probably does. For people who haven't, I will just explain it in due time, maybe video 4 or 5. But note, if we indicated which code belongs to the if but don't want any spam, it is only supposed to be printed if spam amount is positive. But the letter code, which is Viking song, is equals spam times spam amount, which is also which is called an asterisk sign. It should be executed no matter what. Well, yeah. So the multiplication operator or the asterisk operator can be used to multiply two numbers, which is spam by spam amount. But amusingly enough, we can also multiply a string to another string. It works the same way. Now we're going to do numbers in arithmetic Python, and we're going to change this to a heading, the level 2 heading, and we're going to give it numbers. Wait, what? Okay. There you go. So that's a heading. And now we're going to try out the spam amount again. So spam amount is equals to 0. Now here, before I even go further, a number is a fine informal name for the kind of thing which this is a number. Basically 0 is a number. That's the best way to put it. 0 is a number. And now we're going to do a type. So 0 also happens to be an integer. So we're going to do spam amount, which is equals to 0. Once you type this spam amount, once you type this, it should give you this as an output when you run it. And the 0 here is an integer, a short integer. Now we're going to do a number with a decimal point. Now 19.95 is a float. A float is a number with a decimal place, which is very useful in representing things like weights or proportions. Yeah. Now we're going to try another function. You see, type is a built-in function like print. It is useful to ask in Python what kind of number is this, and it will give you an answer that it's a float. Now we're going to try something out of the box. Let's try printing. Print, and we see what will happen. Into bracket 5, over 2. Make sure you put spaces, and then print 6 over 2. We're going to run both these two. It has given us a 2.5 and a 3.0. It has given us a float because it cannot give us a fraction. Python is not built to give us a fraction, therefore it will definitely give us a float. But then let's try and make things a bit interesting. So print 5. The double over is supposed to round it off to the nearest number. The double division sign supposed to round it off to the nearest number, which it has, and it has given us a 2 and a 3. Those are the nearest numbers. So we're now going to do a order of operations. Order of operations. Sorry. It's a heading. Like that. So in arithmetic in primary school or high school for some of us, we learned that it has conventions about the order in which operations are evaluated. Some remember BODMAS, I believe. Everyone actually remember BODMAS. If you don't remember BODMAS, then you remember PEMDAS, which happens to be parentheses, exponent, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. This is same as BODMAS, which is bracket of division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. Yeah, so Python follows the same rules, which calculations to perform first. They are mostly pretty intuitive. So let's try 8 minus 3 plus 2. Let's see what answer it will give us. It has given us 7 because it has put addition before subtraction. Therefore 3 wait, hold up. Yes, 3 plus 2 is 5. I'm not sure whether this is correct, but then 3 plus 2 is 5. 8 minus 5 is supposed to be 3. For some reason we have a 7 here. Okay, let's try out another one and see what happens. -3 plus 4 times 2. It's supposed to take the multiplication first. Oh yes, I've seen what it has done here. It just took the as it is here. If subtraction was the first operation, that's what it did first. Therefore 8 minus 3 is 5. 5 plus 2 is 7, and it gives us the answer, which is 7 here. So here it's going to do -3 plus 4 is it will do -3 plus 4, which is which is what? Wait, what? Not even sure. I don't even know how this is possible, but then yeah. Sometimes maths can be weird and tricky, but this is how it comes. So sometimes the default order is not what we want. It has done 4 by 2, which is 8, and then added -3, which is 5. Let's try something a bit heavier. Height in centimeters is equals 25. My centimeters is equals 190. Hash. So this happens to be a comment. So the height centimeters is 25 and my height is 190 centimeters. How tall am I when in meters when I'm wearing my hat? We're going to try that here. So total it's actually meters. Now we're going to print the height. Wait, hold up. Right. So we're going to run this code. It has given us the height in meters when we have the height plus my height in meters happens to be 26.9. So parentheses are useful here because you can add them to force Python to evaluate sub expressions in whatever order you want. Let's try them now. Total we're going to print that. We're going to run this. So that's 2.15. We are now going to do built-in functions for working with the numbers. So just going to do their minimum and maximum return the minimum and maximum of their arguments respectively. The minimum and maximum return the minimum and maximum of their arguments respectively, like this. Print min 1 2 3 and print one, two, three. You see, the minimum here is 1, the maximum here is 3. The minimum and maximum return the minimum and maximum of their arguments respectively, and ABS returns the absolute value of its argument. ABS is absolute, so ABS returns the absolute value of its argument as this way. And if we run this, the absolute value here is 32, be it a positive or a negative. I hope that makes sense. I hope. Okay, in addition, to being names of Python into numerical types, integers and float can also be called as functions which convert the arguments to the corresponding type, like this. Print float 10. Now print integer 3.33. Now this can be called on strings basically. So print integer 807 plus 1 should give us, yes, the float is 10.0. The integer is 3, and the integer is 808 because it's 807 plus 1. You can keep practicing all what we've learned today. We will meet here tomorrow. Wow. Thank you very much for watching today. I believe today you learned something. Thank you.